And first up in our local entertainment news is Shadaya, who has gone on a rant online about the Zambian entertainment industry. It looked like just a joke to begin with, but it's actually more than that because she's spoken of the Lusaka July without mentioning it. She just hinted at it. Well, I think she's just gone out and said she would never attend a July ever again because she wasn't treated right by tailors or designers at a certain Lusaka July, and so much more. So the first of multiple posts is this particular one where she says Zambian entertainment industry equals to trash. Now this is what caught my attention, but after that I went to her social media page, and there's so much more. There is so much more, like this particular one where it says, anyways, this is my Facebook, I can say what I want. Next is the Kwacha Music Awards are back at it with the racism. We'll stop there, but okay, maybe we need to fully understand like what racism is, but we'll continue at the post to see where all of this is going. So she says it's whack. Bye to the event. I mean, won't speak for me. I've been out 2 years, but where's my girl Salma Sky? That's been doing the most for years now, and Joe really sucked because you didn't just nominate Salma or nominate Shadaya or nominate anybody who's white in this case, if she calls it racism. The last post is this one where she says, also, I'm gonna need my own personal stylist or designer that hasn't worked with anyone because a lot of you designers favor your people. The last time I attended the Lusaka July, I had to make my slit on my dress shorter by myself because the designer didn't want my slit shorter than the one he favored. I'm a baddie and I like to show skin. Give me what I want. Very selective people in this country. That's why we are still here. Diversify and be neutral. Have you seen the comments about people who had slits at the Lusaka July? Are you sure that's what you want? Like Shadaya, I get you, you're pretty, yes, and all of that, but are you sure you want to be on the receiving end of those comments? One particular, the one post that caught my attention is the one where she spoke of the Kwacha Music Awards. And this is a conversation that we have been having since the idea of the nominees of that awards and people voting. I think a lot of us were very disappointed, not a lot of us, I think people in the entertainment industry were disappointed with how people were placed in their respective categories. It was very out of touch. They didn't consider digital streaming. They didn't consider YouTube views. What the Kwacha Music Award goes for is airplay on TV and on radio. So your songs need to be videos or need to be songs that have actually been requested for on radio top 10s, top 5s, top 20 countdowns, and that's how they're going to spread it out. The part that she says the music awards are racist really doesn't make sense to me because Shadaya isn't white. Now, racism is a form of hate or prejudice towards people of a different ethnicity, okay? It's not skin color, that's colorism. So maybe if she said colorism, it would make much more sense, but race is actual hate and even bias towards people of a different race, a different, makeup, genetic makeup, something that you can't run away from. Either Caucasians, Asians, us, the Africans, the Nubians, as we are as our race. But Shadaya is a person who is mixed. She isn't necessarily white, neither is Salma like entirely white. So once it comes to such, it's actually colorism. That was just a point of education. Other than that, this conversation of the Lusaka or the Zambia Music Awards has been ongoing. Like I said, we wrapped it up. I mean, the representatives did say, maybe next year we'll look at your YouTube views. Maybe next year we'll look at Boomplay. But for this particular year, we are focusing and concentrating on airplay on radio or TV. Now, I know Salma is somebody who's made amazing music, but Salma has gotten to a point in her music career where her music is, I would like to say, necessarily not mainstream, but alternative. Like, it takes somebody who's a full Salma fan to tap into the music. And if you look at, her album, the Aweso songs and the Free Me songs and all of that, that album seems very niche. It has a niche category of people who are going to listen to it, but very strategic as well because it can be mainstream. Other than that, I think Shadaya is just ranting for no reason because the rants keep coming up. Just, before I went to her social media, and it turns out she's still talking. She's still ranting about her being colored or whatever. But get your facts right. Racism isn't because you're a lighter shade than me. That's called colorism. And yes, I don't think necessarily once it comes to music, your music will speak for you. Because if you've seen the categories, best song, these are songs that we know. We can't go and put on Salma when, you know, half of the nation, not to bash her, but half of the nation hasn't heard elucidate me, anticipating, free the creative, and then we put her song of the year, then people will question the eligibility and the strength of the institution that is the Kwacha Music Awards. I feel your music will speak for you regardless, and conversations or views like these need to be taken with a lot of understanding and grace. And even before you say such things, understand that there's a lot of repercussions and a lot of sides of the story that you need to get before you go out to your 1,400,000 followers and say things like this that might be very detrimental. I understand this is something that I say every single time. We're a growing industry, from music to movies to even things like, you know, modeling and acting. We are still a growing industry once it comes to entertainment. It's hard for you to somewhat keep it going, because there's times when things just go quiet in our country. Look at how the music awards went quiet. There were no awards for a good 3-4 years, and it's not because we were unable to, but people just didn't celebrate or recognize how big an impact music had made in the country. But now we're coming to a point where we're understanding that there's value in music, there's value in the arts, there's value in alternative media, and even in entertainment itself. So we're still getting to a place of growth. We're not where we were, we're not where we're supposed to be, but at least we are on the road moving, and that's what matters. What did you have to say about this particular rant? Because I think she should have just kept quiet. It's nice to always throw in your 2 cents when things are bubbling, because right now, the Lusaka July is a topic that's still going on. People are still commenting, still bashing the people who went out and wore material Yamama trace, material Yama shining. It's okay, but you don't need to go out and say something about everything. We move on to